I'm going to show you how to write full email sequences and explain to you what types there are and what they are good for. So my promise to you is that after this video, you will be able to write all three types of email sequences so you can guide the audience of the client you are working with through a whole nurturing journey so they ultimately are ready to buy the program, guys. So let's get right into the lesson on email sequences. I'm very excited to have you here because almost no one actually understands how email sequences are written and what their sole purpose is. So I'm going to explain everything as simple and easy as it can get. So let's get right into the first thing, guys. First of all, we need to clear up once and for all what email sequences really are, because there's still so much confusion in the whole game of copywriting because no one explains it like very simple, and that's what I'm going to do for you on the next slide, guys. So email sequences are a series of pre-written emails that are automatically sent to subscribers over time. They are used to nurture leads, build trust, and guide people towards a specific action, usually making a purchase. You know, that's what we all want as a copywriter or as a business owner, you know. Huge emphasis here on the words series of pre-written emails, guys. It's not about a singular email because these are not going to make any money, you know. It's about a whole process, a whole journey, you know. It's a full sequence that covers everything needed to make someone ready to buy. So you introduce a mechanism to them, you sell them on the mechanism, you give them even more value on the mechanism, you pitch them the offer, which is going to be like a special offer that's with like urgency and scarcity, you know, like a discount or something, and you give them like trust because you show them testimonials, you know. This full sequence covers everything needed, you know. And that's what you need to understand. It somewhat tells a whole story, you know, because it always starts with like introducing a mechanism, then talking about the own story, how you found the mechanism, and then you like explain the whole thing, explain the offer. So basically you try to like lay out a whole process so like the whole sequence makes sense, you know. So yeah, it somewhat tells a whole story, guys. And there are three total types of email sequences, and I am going to cover all of them, guys, you know. First one being the most simple one, and you guys probably already have written one of these, the welcome sequence, guys. This is the first one, and I like to call this the automated lead magnet sequence because at the beginning I was kind of confused on like this whole welcome sequence thing because, you know, there's also like a promo sequence, there's a deadline sequence, and I always asked myself, okay, how many mails do I have to write per sequence? And then I realized, bro, that's just like one big sequence, right? It's all like the lead magnet sequence, you know, because yeah, you can also call like the whole thing the welcome sequence, but I know like Tyson 4D or someone talked about like the first 2 or 3 mails being like the welcome sequence, but why would you separate it? It's a whole sequence that gets sent out after you opt in for a lead magnet, right? So I already foreshadowed this kind of. This email sequence is sent out after someone opts in for a lead magnet, guys, meaning a free ebook or a free video training, you know. This is like the automated lead magnet sequence or welcome sequence, however you want to call it, right? So additionally to the lead magnet that already nurtures the potential customers into wanting to buy something, you know, it already gives value, the whole lead magnet, you know. The lead still receives a full email sequence, giving them even more value, showing them testimonials to build trust, and ultimately pitching them the program of the creator, you know. So it's not just like about the lead magnet that is going to make someone ready to buy, but also like the whole email sequence, nurturing them even further, you know. So that's also worth mentioning, you know. Ultimately, of course, you pitch them the program, you know. And this email sequence is fully automated, meaning you set it up one time and it gets sent every time someone opts in for the lead magnet, you know. So it's like evergreen, it's always existing, you know. And now I will show you what the structure of this email sequence looks like, so you finally understand how to write these yourself without ever needing help again, guys. So that's my job for this lesson right here. So yeah, this is the outline of the welcome sequence you are going to write in the future. So the first one being like, hey, welcome on the email list, glad you signed in, blah, blah, blah. Here's your lead magnet. Make sure to put a star on this email so you don't miss out on the next emails, blah, blah, blah. It's like the typical welcome email. You guys all understand this by now, right? Next one being a typical value mail. Just give them some sort of advice on like the whole niche that your creator is in, just a random value mail with some mechanism, Next up being value, this can also be just a advice mail, but you could also do like a train to click inside of this, meaning you incorporate a link at the bottom so people like have less friction when they ultimately are pitched or like CTA'd to click on the link that leads them to the program and like the hard promo down here. So yeah, you can incorporate like a link down there, which is going to lead them to another free resource, like a YouTube video or something, the train to click, Next up being the soft promo. What I like to do here is kind of value into promo, talk about something in a niche, give them value, and then say, yeah, and by the way, if you want even faster results with this kind of method, that I just explained to you, this is the promo, this is the program, blah, blah, blah. Just a little value into promo, a soft promo, right? Next one being a simple testimonial mail. The one after that being like a belief shift mail. And you just shift the belief in here that is going to be the most frequent and occurring in this particular niche. So sometimes they have to be sold on like kind of mindset. Sometimes they have to be sold on the actual mechanism, meaning like cardio or whatever that's going to help you lose weight. Whatever mechanism your educational creator teaches, right? So this is just a belief shift and you have to nail this one. You have to find like the correct one in order to really make this email hit, because you almost appeal to everyone. You appeal to the whole dream avatar, right? Which is what copywriting is about. Next one being a typical hard promo is basically just going all in. Yeah, your last chance to opt in, blah, 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 just a hard promo mail, pitching them the program and selling them on the click to the next page, to the next, kind of marketing instrument, which will be the landing page or like the sales page. And the sales page will sell them on the program. The email doesn't sell them on the program. It only sells them on the next click, guys. So yeah. And the last one can also be a hard promo mail. This is usually something like urgency and scarcity. This one is kind of hard to pull off because it's kind of hard to include urgency and scarcity into an evergreen kind of always available thing, because people are going to opt in after 2 months, and everybody is going to receive the same mail. So it's kind of shady, but depending on how aware your audience is, you can still incorporate this, because they won't understand this is like an evergreen thing, right? So yeah, after this email sequence is finished, the whole welcome sequence, you just funnel them into the, if there's one, you funnel them into the newsletter. And if you do like a special offer at some time, like a whole retarget sequence, which is going to be the next sequence I'm talking about, you can funnel them from the newsletter again into the special offer sequence. But I'm going to explain this to you guys. Second sequence being the retarget or special offer sequence, guys, So essentially, this email sequence is sent to the full email list to re-engage people and make some money from them, meaning like a reactivation. We also call this like browsing the whole email list, reactivating everyone, re-engaging them with some sort of a special offer. So we ultimately make huge amounts of money from this big bag of gold the business owner is sitting on, whatever, right? The key is to offer something new and special, guys, because the old email list is kind of bored and cold, and you need to give something new and special to them in order for them to say, okay, this is different, let me buy this, right? It's different from the other things that have been pitched to me in the past. So yeah, not just in regards to the offer, it has to be new, like a new name and a discount or something, like a whole new kind of mechanism, It's also in regards, as I already said, to the mechanism, guys. So the method you are going to talk about also has to be slightly refined, maybe, So like the whole technique behind the offer is also something completely different that will possibly work for the prospect on your email list, right? Because the old things didn't work for them, so now they want something new, right? That's just how marketing works. So yeah, it has to be a completely new offer, like a new name and discount. It can just be framed differently or like positioned differently. It can be the same offer, just do another marketing technique kind of, and a new mechanism. So yeah, this email sequence is also fully automated. It's not evergreen because you only send it out once, You set it up one time and it gets sent out to the full email list, but only one time because it's like a special offer. The welcome sequence is always there because the lead magnet is always existing, right? And now I will show you what the structure of this email sequence looks like, getting to the next page, guys. First email of this retarget kind of special offer sequence will be the intro mail. So essentially, you talk about the what. You tell them, yeah, I have a pretty nice offer right here. I've prepared something beautiful for you, and I can finally say, it's ready, guys. I'm very excited, blah, 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 and you kind of introduce the offer and maybe even incorporate the link already at the bottom, you kind of just introduce the offer, so the timer already starts. You can already incorporate like 5 days left or something, Next up being the benefit mail. So they understand, okay, this is the whole offer and this is the new thing she's been preparing. And now you explain the big benefit. Now you explain the what's in it for me. You explain like the whole kind of, you introduce the mechanism, the thing, how you found the mechanism and how it helped you, blah, 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 telling the story, and you explain like the whole thing kind of, how you found it. And then in the third mail, you actually explain the mechanism, why it works, why it's so good. You basically sell them on it. It's almost like a belief shift mail or like a nurturing mail in terms of like getting them to the next level, because after this mail, they will finally understand why cardio method is the best one, whatever the name of your specific unique mechanism will be, right? Next mail being like a testimonial mail. So now they are sold on, okay, I understand the offer. It's like a special offer. I only have 5 days left. I understand what the big benefit is. I understand how the thing works. I understand this already worked for other people. And now it's my last chance. Fifth mail, the sell mail. Oh, only 1 day left, guys. Finally get in. And this is pretty much like the money-making email, the whole sell or like promo email, So these are like the 5 emails in the whole retarget special offer sequence. So after this one is finished again, you just funnel them into the newsletter again, if there's one existing, and then you funnel them back into the special offer retarget sequence if there's like another one, So the newsletter is kind of like the dynamic thing, and these are like static only like one time. The welcome sequence, like the automated lead magnet sequence, and this one, the special offer retarget sequence. And now to the final email sequence, speaking about the webinar sequence, guys, This email sequence is sent out after someone opts in for a time-sensitive webinar on an opt-in page, guys. So what time-sensitive means is also it's only like a one-time thing, kind of like the special offer retarget sequence. So that's why it's time-sensitive. It's not like always existing, but still it's like fully automated and you only set it up once. So yeah, the lead receives a full email sequence, giving them value, but most importantly, hyping them up for the webinar to ultimately increase the show rate in the webinar, guys. That's what we want to achieve with these kind of pre-webinar nurturing hype mails or like reminder mails, These are the pre-webinar mails. And for the post-webinar mails, we just tell them about the offer, put some urgency and scarcity inside, but I'm going to explain this to you guys. So yeah, as I already said, this email sequence is also fully automated. You set it up one time and it gets sent every time someone opts in for the webinar. And when the webinar is gone, of course, the whole page is removed and no one can opt in anymore. So yeah. And lastly, I will show you what the structure of this whole email sequence looks like, guys. So for the pre-webinar mails, you have like the first mail being the confirmation mail. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. So excited to see you in like the relationship masterclass, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, this is your personal link. This is the start time, blah, 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 Then you put like 2 to 5 value mails of some sort inside of this. It's really not important, guys. It's more so about the structure, not about each individual mail. So just some value in there. Usually you promote a webinar for like 7 days, not much more, because the show rate will decrease significantly. So yeah, value mails 2 to 5, and the rest will be like reminder mails. Oh, in 24 hours it's going to happen. Oh, 12 hours, 10 hours, 2 hours, half an hour, 1 hour, 5 minutes, okay, we are finally live. So you can kind of spam then because they intentionally opted in for the webinar, So this is like kind of reminder mails, you know. Then we have like the link to the webinar inside of the last mail on like Webinar Jam or Zoom. Then it's like the whole webinar occurs, and then we have like the post-webinar mails after the webinar. You can incorporate like the recording in the first mail in case you missed it, blah blah blah. Here's the recording. Then you give them like a testimonial because now they saw the recording, and now you show them even more proof. This stuff actually works, because of course at the end of the webinar you pitch a special offer as well. Then you put sell and urgency, you know, sell plus urgency, kind of a promo mail with some urgency inside. Same for the fourth mail, just some urgency, scarcity, blah, 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 you know. Kind of sell them on the program, and this one will be the last chance mail, essentially telling them, okay, you have to book a call or like buy on the sales page right now, or otherwise the whole offer will be gone, you know. And that's like the whole framework for the webinar sequence, guys, the last sequence, you know. So now you should understand how to write full email sequences so you can go out there and be a real growth partner instead of just being a small copywriter, guys, because it's not about just writing words. It's about creating whole ecosystems for clients and building the whole backend, you know, being like the marketing growth partner. That's what it's all about, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. If you want even more source on copywriting, outreach, or like, you know, anything other than these two things, like more on the mindset side of things, feel free to join my free school. Link is in the bio. There's a free 2-hour outreach masterclass in there telling you exactly how to get your very first client in the next 4 to 8 weeks if you are willing to put in the work and if you already have the service delivery side of things figured out. If you don't have the service delivery side of things figured out, that's completely fine, because I have multiple YouTube videos on my channel. So feel free to join inside. I answer all your questions in there completely for free. And only 151 people in there, so you are still pretty early. Hope to see you inside. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.